In this episode, we recap the Lake Michigan Clipper Cup and talk through the strategy we employed during the race. After that, we go to the awards ceremony and poker run, and then a huge storm comes through and we look at the aftermath. Our entire fleet is behind us. We are ahead and we're pulling away. This is Uzevo out of Port Washington. We were talking to them yesterday. Send up the drone to assess the damage to the sheave that was stopping the spin halyard from coming down. The sheave's frame is broken and the mast will need to come down to be repaired. For now, we sent Patrick up and he retrieved the sail. Finish of the race and we're here in Schooner's Bar and we had food here. It was great, as it always is. They're really good accommodating for us as well, for all the sailors finishing the Clipper Cup. Last year they opened 2 a.m. for us. This year it wasn't so antisocial, so it was a good race, and we were here early. But yeah, we're here drinking. Here are all the boats from the Clipper Cup. So they're all parked here in the basin at Port Washington, and yeah, we're off to the awards ceremony. Gonna have some breakfast and have some go to the awards. I think we did okay.
It's the cruising class. Third place, job site. All right, second place, namaste. All right, first place cruising and the Lighthouse Perpetual Award goes to Après.
Après had the fastest corrected time of the race and finished first in the cruising division. So let's talk a little bit about the strategy that we employed in this race. So the race started from Muskegon, Michigan, here on the east side of Lake Michigan,
to Port Washington on the west side of Lake Michigan, north of Milwaukee. Now, so here on the map we have 3 lines, a green line. Now the green line is the rum line, so a straight line between the start and the finish of the race. The blue line is a simulation that I did using QTVLM. I do this before every race, and it uses the latest grid files, and I use 3 different models to get a representation and make sure the models align. They were very much in alignment before this race, which is always a good sign. And basically what they showed is as we went across here, we could head a little bit north of the rum line and stay at our optimum speed at about 60 apparent, and then by the time we get somewhere in this region, the wind will clock around and we'll stay on our optimum path and go all the way into Port Washington. The red line is the line we actually followed. So what we're going to do is going to walk along it and see what really happened here. So in the beginning of the race, the wind was a little light. We had set up already to be able to throw the chute up. So as soon as we crossed the line, we threw the chute up and we started to head along the line and head a little bit north actually. And then there was some times where the wind got a bit stronger. As it got a bit stronger, we retreated a little bit and went a bit further north. So that's what happened here. And then as the wind died down, we came back, and then really we've just followed this line as much as we could. When we got to about 32 miles out, we were pretty far off course. We were about 18 degrees off course, as you can see from the graphic of my instruments. And then we carried on going. Around this time, the crew were pretty anxious that we were pretty far above the rum line, which is here, and that we should head back as much as possible. What we actually did is I basically said if we get to 15 miles out, which would have been about here, and we can't actually go to Port Washington with this sail, then we'll take it down. When we got to about 20.8 miles out, we were heading directly to Port Washington, as you can see from the graphic of my instruments. So that really, the wind had really pulled in, and so that's what we did, and we pulled right in here. This little inflection here is the mess we made trying to get down the spinnaker as it got stuck, and we had to wrap it, and then we basically had to go in, and this was really slow, this little bit here. In hindsight, we should have waited a bit longer, got a bit closer, but the fact is we were about 2 miles out here. We should have done this about half a mile out in order to make this as minimal as possible. But at that point, we would have been really, it would have been really hard for us to get back in. So that's it.
So we're just wandering up to Beanie's. It's the next stop on the pub crawl. Sorry, hang on.
Live right now.
Yeah.
Take 2.
Welcome to Beanie's.
All right, great to be here.
Rascals, let the rascal out in here.
That's awesome.
There was a huge amount of rain that came through the Milwaukee area that night, including Port Washington. The rain started around 6 and carried on for many hours. Many basements were flooded and many cars were caught in the flash floods. Check out the difference in watercolor from yesterday to today.
A huge storm came through last night, and well, some people got like 8 and 9 inches of rain. We got rained on pretty hard all night, but we're in the boat, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, today is really flat. I mean, look at the water, it's really, really flat, and we're just motoring back to Milwaukee in between rainstorms. So we got hit just before we left Port Washington, and now we're about halfway between Port Washington and Milwaukee, and yeah, expect to be there probably around 2ish. After all the storms last night, and all the water is completely full of debris, and if you can see right, where is it? Oh, we got a dodgy log. It's like right here, the big log. But right over there, there is a tree, a big tree in the water. Right here, right close to the plants. Right here. Yeah. Big piece of the wood there. Log there. And then pretty much a little island over there. That's how big that tree is. Huge piece of wood in the water here. And then the Joanna G from Madeira. So we just listened to some of the salvage boats talking on the radio, and they basically said that they just raised one boat and pulled in a dock as well that came down the river in the storm. So it's a mess out here. It really is a mess. But hopefully nobody is too badly damaged.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment.